Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 Hardcore mode here on the PS5. Tonight we're heading to Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And tonight we will be finally getting our first upgrades on the car. Really looking forward to seeing, hopefully, a big step forward in pace. But we're not going to be the only ones bringing upgrades. You just know the AI is going to have at least some teams bringing upgrades here as well, if not, all of them having upgrades by this point. We are coming off the back of an absolute disaster down under. We lasted 30 seconds in the race. That was it. Both our cars out in the opening 30 seconds. We only just made it out of Sector 1. And right at the beginning of Sector 2, boom, both cars out. I don't even know if we're going to have driver penalties for that. I'm not entirely sure, because we never really got a clear look at the incident. And I went back and watched the replay, and it glitched. The live stream glitched at the point of impact. And then, of course, with the replays, it showed it just off camera, so we never actually saw the replay of the incident either. Just saw bits of carbon fibre and some tyre smoke and stuff. It wasn't our finest race at all. Certainly the quickest race we've ever had. Like I said, over in 30 seconds after all that build-up. But hopefully tonight things will go a little bit smoother, and as I say, we should have upgrades on the cars, but we've got to assess exactly how much damage has been done. We're sitting with 7.5 million, just over, and we're going to eat quite a big chunk of that up tonight, I think. Let's see, we've got John in the chat. I don't know, to be honest, is here. Mr. Watt is here. Steve is here. Anthony's here. Farah's here. Good to see you guys. Let's crack on with the inbox first of all. Dickon has low morale, not surprising considering what happened to our team last night. We do have the first of those suspensions done. We do need to make more of these, so let's continue manufacturing those. We want 3 more of those. I'm not even going to look at what car parts are missing just yet, because it's going to be almost all of them. Baron's here as well. Good to see Baron. Car inspection results. Yeah, we'll come back to that in a second. Let's see. It was Teo picking up the win. Is that 3 wins in a row for Teo now? Let's have a look. Career this season. Yeah, that's 3 wins from 3 for Teo Pourchaire this season. He's having a fantastic season, marching his way towards being the F2 champion there. Car development reports, that's what our car looks like on paper before we get to the next event. Not great. Side pods are manufactured. We need to manufacture more of those as well. So let's see, I just want 1 more of those for now. What else have we got? We've got a confidence check-in from the board. Oh, yes, we forgot to check in with the board. Let's see what happened. In fact, actually, before we go any further, let me show you the actual results of last night's race. So we go to circuits and Melbourne and previous race results. This is what actually happened after our double DNF. So Max got the win from Sergio Perez. Fernando Alonso got himself onto the podium ahead of the 2 Ferraris, then Stroll, then the 2 Mercedes of Russell, then Hamilton, and the 2 Alpines of Ocon and Gasly rounded out the top 10. And then a little bit further down in the bottom half, you can see it was Albon in 11th, Magnussen 12th, Norris 13th, Hulkenberg 14th, Sargent in 15th, then Piastri ahead of the 2 Alfa Romeos, and we didn't even finish a lap. So that is the actual result. I whizzed through that once the stream ended last night. Let's crack on with getting ready for the next race. Things surely can't be worse than they were. So we need to check in with the board, don't we? Let's see. They still have medium confidence in us. That's okay. And overall, they still have a happy race performance with us, but you know they're going to be disappointed. Yep, there it is. Disappointed with Melbourne. I was furious with Melbourne, as well as incredibly frustrated. But yeah, kind of riding our luck of the, or riding the high of those points from Sakir and the opening race with the board at the moment, which is good. We are still on target for our season objective. We are still 7th in the Constructors' Championship, which is nice. Long-term objective by the end of next season is to score points in 12 races in a season. We've got points in 1 race this season. I seriously doubt we will actually achieve this. Well, we might be in with a shout of it if we can get some really good upgrades on the car, but given our finances, I think we might not achieve our long-term objective this season, which is fine. It's not necessary to get it done this year. As long as we can get it done next year, that'll be okay. So, yeah, as I was saying last night, what we might do is we might have to sacrifice development on this year's car quite early on and make sure we can focus on next year's car, given that we are going to be spending quite a big chunk of money on new powertrain components already this season. What else do we have to check in with the inbox? We've got a driver development update. Okay. Let's see. Cornering has been improved for both drivers, both up, well, Yuki up a point, De Vries up 2 points. Yuki's adaptability's gone up by a point. Surprise, surprise, their control hasn't gone up. We've gained 2 points in cornering and 2 points in braking for Liam Lawson. That's good, getting his pace stats up nicely. Let's see what else. Tech insights from Ferrari. So they've got a new rear wing. I wonder if they actually ran that at Australia. And spotlight on Mercedes saying we are below where we expect it to be, which I'm not surprised. Okay, what else did we skip over? Oh yes, inspection. Okay, here we go. There is no attachment. There's too many broken parts. Okay, let's do it the old-fashioned way. Car part 1 is missing a chassis and a front wing and a suspension. And car 2 is missing a chassis, a front wing and a suspension and an entire powertrain as well. Ooh, okay, we're going to not fix the cars until we get to Baku, because we've got those new parts coming. Evening Aussie Potato. Let's go into our training schedule for our pit crew. So we've got a nice big break here, as you can see, until Azerbaijan. So we want to see if we can just boost this a bit. I'm going to get rid of the car building. And we have kind of neglected our skills a little bit in chasing pit time. So I want to keep some of that on. So that we don't completely neglect those skills. So I'm just resetting to balanced on the mornings, and then gym training in the afternoons. There we go, and we'll give them the Sunday off. And let's do a little bit more balanced training. Okay, so our build-up going into Azerbaijan is fine at the moment. We've got plenty of availability for more training, so we'll throw some more in there. And we are now looking at a nice little boost to our skills. So I'm actually going to look at maybe going full speed training in the build up here. See if we can trim a bit more time off those stops, and we can still get a bit more training in. get at least one more day in. Yeah, there we go. And maybe just a touch more pit stop training there. Yeah. Okay. In fact, let me balance that out a touch more. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So that's going to save a little bit of time on our pit stop. It's going to also just slightly reduce the chance of us making a mistake. So that is quite a nice big block of training there for our boys. That is all saved and done. Let's advance some time then. Increase construction speed. Ooh. So we can bring the upgrading deadline for the tour center. Oh, it's only the tour center. That thing can wait. That's fine. There's no point paying, you know, almost the entire upgrade cost just to bring it forward a couple of days. Interestingly, there it didn't actually tell us what the original completion date is. I do think some of these are still a little bugged. I had on one of my background files where I'm just whizzing through season 1 with Ferrari. I had one of those emails where it says you can get triple payouts on a sponsor guarantee if you pass it, and double losses if you fail it. And yeah, I got no benefits despite hitting the objectives. So there are some of these emails that don't work, unfortunately. And I think, you know, some of them do need to be refined a bit more. You know, we often get those, would you like to take on extra sponsorship obligations? And it says, if you say yes, then you'll get these extra obligations. But it doesn't say what reward you'll get for taking those on either. So, yeah, I generally tend to ignore those, because I don't know if I'm actually going to get any money for doing them. I'm just going to, you know, knacker up my team and my drivers a bit more than necessary. So yeah, we would only look, the tour centre's due on the 13th, so we would have saved 4 days basically, and it would cost us 40 grand. It only cost us like 60 something grand to actually put that upgrade on in the first place. So definitely a waste of money with that one. Glad we said no to that. Our CFD simulator is now upgraded to level 2. Our team hub hits level 3. That is nice. Our hospitality level hits level 2. That'll help with morale, which did take a bit of a hit last night. How are we doing with car development? Underfloor is 2 days away. And as you can see, we are almost done with the side pods, which is excellent, because when the side pod is finished, we'll free up the slot we need to work on the underfloor. That's excellent. Got a new regulation vote. Minor technical changes for next season. So, the specific regs are that we focus on influence how our cars generate downforce. Okay, so it's either high or low speed changes. Our downforce is pretty terrible across the board, so I don't really think it matters too much which way we go here. Although, if we do end up replacing Dickon next season, which I am planning on doing, we were looking at... who was it we were looking at? It was... Who was it we were looking at? I don't think we did actually look at anybody for next season, did we? I mean, we could try and get Dirk de Beer from Alpine. But there isn't a massive improvement beyond that, really. And we can't go for Jared or Diego or Balbo, despite the fact that these two are both going to be out of contract at the end of the season, because we can't poach from those 3 teams until the end of season 2. I think we'll just go for high-speed changes and hope that that hurts the competition a lot more than it does us, which it should do, because our downforce is pretty terrible. Right, what else do we need to do? We need to accelerate time again. There is the underfloor. Excellent stuff. So let's get that into production. And I can get 2 before the Grand Prix. Excellent. And then I'd like a spare as well. So actually, let's get 2 spares. Because it might be a while till we get another underfloor on. Okay. Excellent stuff. Side pods manufacturing is complete. We know about that. In terms of development, we are not going to develop anything just yet. I've still got a bit of cash, so we're going to go ahead and upgrade our race sim if I can afford it. Just. There we go. If I couldn't, I was going to go for the Team Hub, which is a bit cheaper, 3.5 mil. But we can just, and I do mean just, afford the race sim upgrade. Excellent stuff. We need to get that thing maxed out as quickly as we can. Okay, confirmation emails. Skip forward a bit more. Source Center is now up to level 4. So this is going to cost 50 grand to finish it off. There we go. Oh, we haven't done the helipad again, have we? Oh, it's too late now. Can't afford the helipad now. How much is that? It's, yeah, nearly 500. So that's going to have to wait till after Baku, I think. Completely forgot about that. Research period has started, which means we've got the results of the regulation vote. Let's see. And it is going to be high-speed changes. So McLaren, Mercedes, Williams and Aston Martin voted against the high-speed. They wanted the low-speed changes. Everyone else has voted for high-speed, and that will be the area that takes the biggest hit. More manufacturing done. I've got a sponsor obligation, idle engineers and idle scouts. Oh yes, let's get those scouts scouting. Let's get some aero guys scouted. So we can't go for these guys. So let's scout out Dirk de Beer with a view to maybe stealing him away for next year. We'll scout out Peter Promadou as well. Or Prodromo, sorry. We'll scout out Ian Gregg, but I don't think he's worth the upgrade personally. And there's no point with Alessandro, he's barely any better. We will also look at some of these down here as well. Let's take a look at Martin Werner, or Werner as I should say. And he can just be a standard scout because he is a free agent, so we don't need to worry about contract stuff with him. We know about the poor condition of those parts because they are pretty much non-existent now. Suspensions are complete. Excellent stuff. Grand Prix is tomorrow. No, it is today, and we are blocked because we have missing car parts. So let's build our new cars. Our Spec 2 car, if you will. Let's start off with the aero parts. So we need a new chassis. There we go. We'll install that on both cars, and we have 1 spare. In fact, actually, I want to see how much of an improvement we've made on these upgrades. So I'm just going to install them on Yuki's car to start with. Rear wings are fine, side pods are fine, suspension is broken on both cars, so we'll install that on car 2 and that one on car 1. Underfloors, install on car 2. Okay, so now we've got a picture of the difference in performance of our 2 cars. So if we go to ourselves here and change car to Yuki, there is the difference in the upgrades that we've just applied to the car. So doesn't look like a huge amount because it isn't. But that's because other teams have taken steps forward as well. So that's why our rankings have, haven't really gone forward that much. However, you can see we found a little bit of extra speed, we found a little bit of extra acceleration, but we found some decent performance gains in cornering. Not massive, because this is only our first set of upgrades. The next ones will be even better, but we found a little bit of extra performance with our cornering, a little bit of an increase in our dirty air performance, about 1%, just under. Big step forward in our brake cooling, which is important, gained about 7.5% there. Engine cooling has gained just a tiny little bit, and as you can see, we've taken almost 8 kilos of weight out of the car as well. So that's a decent little step forward. Nothing earth-shattering, nothing groundbreaking, but you know, it's a nice little step, and hopefully we'll see us maybe be a little bit more competitive, but not by much, I wouldn't have thought. I think the next round of upgrades will be where the real improvements are found. We haven't done a rear wing, have we? We can get some definite improvements in speed with a rear wing. Oh, we didn't put the side pods on. I completely forgot about the side pods. Alright, well, let's just throw those on, and then we'll have another quick look at where we sit on the grid once the side pods are on. Completely forgot about those. So let's have another quick look. So yeah, now you can see our cornering is looking a lot healthier. Our brake cooling's 13th. Our engine cooling's taken a nice big bump with that as well. So yeah, maybe we can be a little bit more competitive here. Speed is still not great. DRS is still terrible, but that's not going to improve until we put a new rear wing on. But the cornering has definitely improved, especially in the low speed, which is vital going into this next circuit. And in terms of extra weight, we've now stripped even more weight off the car, so we've only got 7.2 kilos. We've taken another 5 kilos of weight off the car with those side pods. So, nice little improvement there. Right, we do need to do something about this powertrain, which is toast. So, we're on to engine number 2 already. That's early, very early in the season to do that, but, you know, can't help that. And very, very early to go on to our one remaining ATS ERS unit. Gearbox, yeah. Right. That is all of our inbox dealt with. Let's go to race prep, and let's set some targets for tonight. So, I still only think one of our cars is going to make it out of Q2, or into Q2. I'm not going to go nuts with that. The incentive is 1 in the top 15, and we're going to play along with that. So, one car into Q2. I don't think we're going to reach Q3. Let's see if we can get one car to finish in 15th. That was a struggle last night when we did the what would have happened if we hadn't crashed part of the race. We're not going to hit that finish streak, I don't think, unless we get really lucky. And we're still on course for the quali streak. So, with all that done, and the car now kind of prepped and ready, actually, I've just got enough money left over to start that upgrade as well. So I don't forget, because I will do. Let's head to Baku.
Greetings from Azerbaijan, where we're back in the country's capital. Well, it's not every weekend that Formula One arrives at a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but arrive here we have. Drivers will race around the historic streets of Baku, which includes the race calendar's tightest corner, beneath a medieval fortress wall. Baku City Circuits challenges drivers like few other tracks. The tight section through the old city demands precision. The main straight, pure aggressive acceleration. And every corner is a challenge for tyres.
It's not a usual F1 weekend though, with qualifying brought forward to make way for an all-out sprint race which will decide the grid for the Grand Prix.
Sit tight then for the rest of the action.
Alright, no Liam Lawson this weekend because it is a sprint. We only have 2 practice sessions to get our drivers fully prepped for the Grand Prix. So, we go as they are. We'll start setting up De Vries's car first. We'll go with a 10.5, a 3.7, a 2.9, and a 0.9. There we go. Baku is 15 laps. We're going to be calling them in the second we have complete feedback. So they probably won't need the full 15 laps of fuel, but we'll get them out there. As for Yuki, let's see. Let's do something a little bit bolder with Yuki. Let's go with a 2, a 10, a 2.8, a 2.9. Actually, let's go with a 3 and a 1. There we go. And drop those down, and again, we won't use the full 15 laps, but we'll get the car prepped and ready. So let's send them to the track for practice 1. There's going to be a huge difference in pace between our two drivers here, because De Vries is running what's left of his engine after Melbourne, which admittedly isn't too bad. Oh, I should have checked the gearbox.
Radio check, Yuki.
That might have been a mistake.
Loud and clear.
The gearbox is fine, but completely brand new parts for Yuki, so he's going to be much quicker.
Yeah, copy, same.
Me forgetting about the side pods is a classic example of why I always check all the parts when I'm putting upgrades on the car, just to make sure I haven't missed one off, because I've done it in the past where I've not checked and then realised afterwards, oh crap, I could have put that upgrade on. So now I always check every time I put an upgrade on the car, or just get spare parts for a car, or need to replace parts. I always check that I've got enough parts of every type that I need, and that they're running the most up-to-date spec. And it is a blessing, really, that we did not put our brand new single suspension and single chassis on Yuki's car last night, because they would have died instantly, and that would have cost us, you know, a wasted $1 million plus in manufacturing costs.
Debris, right hand side exit 5.
And it also means we wouldn't have had a spare chassis for tonight as well, which is not good. Right, we've almost got feedback already. There we go, feedback for Sonoda, and it's 88%. That's not bad. Let's call them in. And feedback for De Vries now, 95. That's very good. Let's call him in as well. Car park knowledge. Oh, just down at 40%. Yeah, well, that's not surprising. We have put quite a lot of new stuff on the car there.
Speed limiter on. Stop in front of the garage.
Yeah.
Alright, so we need to change the rear wing. That needs to go up to a 10.5. So let's look at our options on a 10.5. I don't have a 2.8 on a 10.5. So let me go to a 3.7. I've got a 10.5, 3.7, 2.85. That's going the wrong way, potentially. And then pull that back with a 0.7. And that isn't far off. if I go to there, that might be it. Let's go with that. And here comes Nick de Vries. And we just need to change our braking stability and oversteer. So, let's go with a 1.5, 10.5, 3.7, 2.95, and a 0.85. And I think that might be it for Nick. Not sure about Yuki, but I think that's going to be it for Nick. How long do I think it will be before I'm competitive, or is that a silly question? There are no stupid questions, just stupid people. I don't know, is the honest answer, Mr. Water. I'm hoping we can be competing for points on a more regular basis by the end of the season. But honestly, we just don't know how well or how much the difficulty in car development is going to be ratcheted up with this new setting. So it could be a full season before we are kind of competitive. It might be that we don't really take a step forward till the new regs kick in next season. We'll have to see how that goes. And I don't think he's stupid. Well, not much. Evening, Derek. Welcome to tonight's hopeful race. What's certainly going to make it harder for us to develop the car this season is just the lack of money we have coming in, and the fact that our facilities are all kind of crap. So we can't really take a massive, meaningful step forward this season like we have done in the past, because we don't have the facilities to really get the most out of the upgrades we're popping on the car, and we don't have the budget to get those facilities up to snuff, very quickly. It's going to be a long drag to get, a really strong, wind tunnel and a really strong CFD simulator. We've got I think we've got a level 3 car park test center or suspension simulator, which is quite nice to have, but most of our other facilities are pretty rubbish. We're at 97% with Yuki. That is pretty close, and I think I might as well just leave him out there now for the remaining 10 minutes or so. See how we got on with Nick. Did we nail it? Almost. Just need one clicker toe, and that's easy to fix if we go the right way on the toe. So it's looking pretty good. Remember, we can't really make any meaningful changes to the car after practice 1 because we'll go into Parc Fermé as soon as we start qualifying, which is next. The only change we'll be able to make will be to the front wing, which will have a detrimental effect on all the other things on the car. So we do kind of need to nail it before we actually go out and do our first time, our first lap in quali.
Let's check the flag.
And we've got a decent bit of track knowledge gained as well. There we go. Right.
Welcome everyone, qualifying for the sprint awaits us, and we're raring to get going.
Just like a normal race qualifying session, drivers will battle it out for their starting grid position. But this time, it'll be for the upcoming sprint.
And here's a driver there's been quite a focus on recently, Karun, Valtteri Bottas.
It's interesting because they weren't that fast in practice. I'm not sure if this was a lack of pace or just the team trying different things. But I imagine we'll see their true performance soon enough.
Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
All right. This is the last opportunity we have to make any changes to the setup before they become locked in. I'm going to go to a 0.8 on the toe. And that should be 100% for Nick de Vries. Yuki, let's have a look. It's the front wing that has to be a 2.5 because it can't go any lower. So if we push that up to a 2.5, we then have to counteract those changes to the cornering and braking. So we'll increase or decrease the camber slightly. The question is, do I need to change the toe as well? Let's just revert back a second. So 2.5, 2.8. No, I'm just going to go with that. I don't think I'm going to need to change the toe. At least I don't think I'm going to need to change the toe. Yeah, I'll leave the toe at 0.75. And that is both cars now kind of prepped as best we can. Given that we've knackered up this car, we're just going to go ahead and put him on brand new parts as well for today's race. Try and keep parity on the powertrain parts where we can. We're going to have to take new replacement powertrain parts with both cars at some point in the season, just probably more with Yuki than with Nick, unless Nick totals his car as well, which is entirely possible. Let's go with one flying lap to start, and then we'll do 2 flying laps at the end of the session.
Should be green now. Focus on the tyres more.
Yeah, copy that.
We focus on our tyres and our brakes.
Good.
Once again, if you're new to the hardcore series, the details can be found in the video description. So if you just hit that more to expand it up. Oh, it's not here. Okay, should be. Why isn't it there? Right, give me 2 seconds. I can fix that. It should be there. Showing in the description for whatever reason. I don't know why.
You got a good gap ahead.
No, there we go. There it is. I had to close the video and reopen it. But yeah, all the details of hardcore mode are down in the video description, so you can refresh yourselves with the additional rules that we are playing with, as well as obviously being on the higher difficulty settings. And let's see how we do with our first flying laps with our brand new Spec car, our B-Spec. De Vries now driving for the line. Might actually get a nice little tow from the Alfa Romeo. And it's a 144.2. It's going to get beaten immediately.
Delta, stay negative. Cool as much as
By
you
how
can.
much?
Yeah, confirm.
Okay, De Vries is very close to Norris. And Tsunoda's slightly
Follow the
slower.
reference.
So maybe
This
De
is
Vries
it up.
did get that
This is it
little
up.
bit of a toe on the back straight from the Alpha there, from Joe. That's our first lap done. We are going to do another 2-lap run with about 7 minutes to go. So let's get the cars prepped and ready for that. Same tyres, 2 laps of fuel. There we go. Evening, Victor.
So we should be good on traffic.
Oh no, that wasn't the Mass Effect tune.
It's good to go.
Well, it's not the one that makes me think of Mass Effect, anyway.
Straight out, track is clear. Recharge, off and push.
So once again, De Vries is in a position where he might possibly get a little bit of a slipstream. Which McLaren is that in front of us? It's Norris again. Alright, no improvement for Nick in the first sector, but Yuki is improving. Let's check confidence levels. We didn't actually do that last time. Not amazing, has to be said. Prix, the driver. As the Haas gets out of the way, that might be Magnussen. Still no improvement for De Vries. shame. I was really hoping he'd be a bit quicker on this second lap. Apparently not. Yuki's improving though. And Yuki goes up to 8th. Okay. I like to say it's a big step forward, but we don't know what the rest of the grid's going to do yet on their new run. Traffic coming through. 2 cars right behind us who are also looking to try and get position. I am probably going to take manual control of the Prix there. Just to pull him away from those two. We don't want to give them a slipstream on this circuit, because a slipstream can be mighty here. Just got to time this right so we don't get too close to the cars in front, the point where it's detrimental. Let's go from here.
No saving required.
Yeah, understood.
Comfortable to push.
Copy that.
Use energy.
Copy that.
I really hope that didn't slow us down, getting that Ferrari out of the way. Oh, come on! Big lift for Yuki on approach to the line. That's terrible. That's a huge drop in speed to start the lap. Luckily, it's very short sprint from the line to the first corner, but yeah, that's not going to help at all. Still no improvement for De Vries in the first sector. He is through at the moment. I think the only car below us that... Wow. Actually, I mean, it could be... The Williams could improve in this session. I don't know. Ocon could well improve. Probably should improve, considering how far off his teammate he is. Magnussen might improve. But we've got a real chance of getting both cars out of Q2 here. Drivers improving so far. Second sector split for De Vries.
Checker flag.
Still no improvements. It's not looking so good. Alright, Yuki. No improvement for Yuki. I mean, Yuki looks as though he's probably through. But having said that, there's less than a tenth between the two drivers. Oh. No. Another big lift. Oh, god damn it. So, no improvement for De Vries. That's it for him. That needs to be patched. That's really bad. And no improvement for Yuki. So, it's all down to Magnussen, who's on an in-lap. So is Piastri. We got both cars through.
14.
Ocon did improve. He jumped up to 11th behind Tsunoda. Do we potentially have top 10 pace here? Don't forget as well, artificially inflated because we're running brand new engines and the rest of the grid won't be. So you've got to take that into consideration as well. But yeah, we might have a chance of some points here tonight. If Yuki's got genuine top 10 pace at the moment, you know, we could maybe gain a place or two in the sprints, then maybe hold position in the race. Finish in the top 10, that would be nice. Right, let's go with 2 flying laps on the old tyres. And then immediately we'll go for 2 flying laps on new tyres straight afterwards.
Green light, green light.
And again, these are going to be slow times, so I am going to whiz through these.
Preparing for the start of the lap.
Copy that.
Warm up tires.
Copy.
Hush, Barra. They are not going to take each other out on the first lap. Again. Well, they better not. Right, both drivers improving on the second lap. That's good.
P9. That's an excellent lap. Run switch cool and box.
Copy.
Currently P7.
Okay, so we've got our baseline times in, and we've got our confidence
This is a lap. This is a lap.
up to very high.
Copy.
Let's see what we can do with new tyres. We're only going to have time for 1 flying lap. But, you know, fresh rubber. Should find a definite improvement here.
Good warm up on brakes.
Copy.
Can I sack both my drivers?
So let's prepare
No.
the lap.
Copy.
Oh, look at this. We're right on the gearbox of the Ferrari. So we've got a chance of a really nice slipstream with Yuki here. Get him into the top 10. We'll keep him in the top 10. And De Vries actually got a chance of a slipstream off that Williams. That might possibly be a bad thing. So I'm going to take manual control. And just get clear of the Williams. Because we're quicker than Sargent at the moment, so we don't want to get held up by him.
You can use energy.
Yeah, copy.
You can push more.
Well, both of our drivers are out of contract at the end of this season, so we will be replacing De Vries, hopefully with Piastri next season. As I said, one of my objectives is to try and make Piastri a world champion.
There is Norris in front of
So
you.
that's going to be a fun challenge.
Recharge off and push.
I don't know what I'm doing with Tsunoda yet. I might keep him on for another season. I might possibly put Lawson in the car in place of Yuki next season. Oh, the Ferrari's getting held up by that Williams that we bailed past. Oh, this is going to hurt that Ferrari. He has to fight with him. The side by side. That's screwing them both up. I mean, we're not going to beat the Ferraris, but it's going to stop Sargent from improving. Having to fight with the Ferrari. And now
Check
it gets
the
us in a position where we can get a slipstream on the run to the line. That's worked out really nicely. Yuki's up in the first sector, so is Nick. Got some traffic getting out of the way. No lifting, that's good. Evening, Aiden. I think Yuki got through without any issues there. Should still be close enough. Oh, he has lost a little bit of time in the middle sector. Should be close enough though to get a slipstream off this Williams here. De Vries is going to be crossing the line at full speed. Can he get through? Tsunoda is out at the moment. De Vries goes up to 11th. Almost makes it. Can Yuki actually get into the top 10 here? No, he can't improve. Oh, we were so close, so close. Damn it. I actually thought we might have a chance of getting Tsunoda into the top 10 tonight, but hey, it's a sprint weekend, so if we can make a little bit of progress, because looking at the lap times, we're pretty close to both Hulkenberg and Ocon. We've got a chance of moving forward a little bit in the sprints, even if it's just a couple of places, and then that will set us up nicely for a chance to get some points in the main Grand Prix. And speaking of, it'll be Perez in third, Max in second, and Charles Leclerc will be starting on pole position. His teammates in fourth, then it's Alonso, Hamilton, Stroll and Russell, Ocon and Hulkenberg. That is your top 10 for tomorrow's race. Now we've got practice 2, and then obviously we've got the sprint as well before we get to tomorrow's race, which is going to be cloudy but dry. Right, we want to go with medium tyres. Going to run with, I never checked. Yeah, 100% setup and 100% setup. So we did nail the setups. Excellent stuff. I want to run with 32 laps of fuel. Got to run the whole session to learn these new car parts and try and get that track knowledge up. We are going to put the old engine bits back in for practice 2. Or at least with De Vries we are. We haven't got any old practice bits with Yuki, seeing as they all got destroyed. And let's send them to the track.
Green light now.
I just couldn't get into it, Mr. Water. The spark wasn't there.
A bit less curb.
Copy. Advise me what you want me to do with tires.
Tyres on low side.
Right, so our driver prep is currently at 75%. Now, as our track knowledge and car part knowledge goes up, that will obviously increase. It's a question now of how high we can get that. We should be able to get very close to max track knowledge, but car part knowledge is going to be way off. I think we'll be lucky to hit 75% on car part knowledge tonight. but I'm hopeful to get around 90+% on the track knowledge. For those of you who are Dark Descent fans, patch 1.6 came out today, which has a load more bug fixes and also introduces New Game Plus, which means your Marines can now go up to level 15 instead of level 10 when playing on New Game Plus. I will be picking that game up again at the weekend and carrying on with that. I don't know if I'll be sticking any footage back up on the channel for a while yet, but I might do. Still planning on doing an Alien Isolation stream on Sunday. It's going to be a long stream as well. I'm going to start streaming probably around midday and just keep going and see if I can get the game done in one sitting. And any Alien Fireteam event fans in out there as well, the patch, first Quality of Life patch went live a couple of days ago, and they've definitely made some big improvements to Alpha and Beta. They are much more effective on the higher difficulties now, much less likely to keep running in the way of you when you're shooting, so you don't end up just nailing your own teammates. But they are also now able to friendly fire you themselves. So, bit of a mixed bag, but generally a good improvement for Fireteam Elite as well, which is nice because it needs a lot of fixing. There's just so many things that just don't work as intended on that game. It's still amazingly fun to play, but yeah, there's too many little issues with it. I'm still hopeful that they might potentially put out a bit more content for it, but not overly hopeful. You know, I wish they would. I've just got a feeling they probably won't. I think they're just going to be doing quality of life fixes now. Studio is working on another title as yet unannounced. I don't know if it's going to be another Aliens game or just something completely different, but we shall see. Alright, so we maxed out track knowledge. I did not expect that. Got car part knowledge up to about where I thought. I said maybe around 75%. We got up to 73%. So despite that, we're still going in with pretty solid driver prep at 93%. That's a good starting baseline for confidence. De Vries will start in the high confidence, and Yuki just short of very high confidence.
Well, the excitement levels continue to rise here as the teams prepare for the sprint. Of course, this is the first sprint of the season, adding an extra challenge for the drivers and their teams. But as ever, in Formula One, an extra challenge is an extra opportunity.
Points go to the top finishers in the sprint, and with no mandatory pit stops, it's all about the racing on the track.
So let's see then how the teams tackle today's sprint, here in Baku.
Alright, what are we going to do for strategy? Let's have a little look-see. Do I go with the softs or with the mediums? I think I'm going to go with the mediums. Let me check how many sets of softs I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4 sets. I could go softs actually. Yeah, let's go with the softs. And give us a little bit of wiggle room for pace, but not a huge amount. We are going to swap those parts back out on De Vries's car. And I'm going to put 1 extra lap of fuel in, because it's a sprint. And we're going to go blasting off on the line and just hope they can keep it on the track and out of each other. Alright, let's sprint.
Our sprint today sees the drivers take on 17 laps of the Baku city circuit.
Expect to see plenty making the most of Baku's long, wide main straight. That's going to be their best chance to overtake and secure a strong result.
But just who comes out on top when the checkered flag flies? Now's the time for the sprint here in Baku. And it's lights out and away we go.
Do everything you can, mate.
Copy.
Oh wait, is De Vries ahead? He is. Okay. In that case, let's turn that off, so he doesn't immediately pull over and get in the way of his teammate. We'll put it on Yuki for now. And De Vries is up to 10th. Make that 9th. Maybe. Yeah, 9th. Woo! So, excellent start for De Vries there. Yuki went backwards slightly, dropped down a place. But, oh, there we just see him with a sneaky little lunge up the inside of Hulkenberg there. And he's back up to 11th.
Yes. And a good job, Yuki.
Looking punchy in these opening corners here, and Tsunoda here now lining up a move on Ocon, who's already dropping out of range for the DRS, which kicks in at the end of this lap, don't forget, on a sprint. DRS kicked in from the beginning of lap 2, not the beginning of lap 3.
DRS is enabled. P9 for now. Slow.
Oh, we got a yellow flag. Please don't be Nick. Oh, is that Nick? No, I think he's through.
Sainz has stopped exit.
He's through.
10.
Woo!
Be
It's
careful.
Sainz who crashed. The race between Ocon and Stroll, what could go wrong? Apparently nothing. We're up to 7th. Joe De Vries. Yuki's down in 11th still, but Sainz is going to have to box, I'm sure of that. We are dropping off just a touch. Let's try and get back into the DRS
You're good
if
to
we
push
can.
on tyres.
See if we can stay on the back of Russell. That'd be awesome. And we'll ride on board with Yuki for a little bit. Leave De Vries up to his own thing. Oh, here we go. Making a move on Stroll. Battery, battery, battery. I haven't got much left, but it should be enough. Hopefully. Come on. Soft tyres, new engine. Don't let him slot in front. He's getting a tow and we're not. There goes Sainz into the pits. Okay, late on the brakes, late on the brakes. Ah, nope. Okay, let's drop him down. And we have lost the slipstream, so we'll drop the tyre pace down. We'll drop the DRS down, the ERS down.
Recharge on.
Got a 6-second gap to Ocon. I'm sure that will start to get nibbled away out.
Recharge on.
But Debris currently sitting on 2 points into if we finish like this. He thought you bricked your PS5. Oh, yeah, that would not be good. And we are just lacking that little bit of pace. But I don't have anything really left to push with.
Push 2 steps harder.
Yeah, copy.
When I get back into the DRS, I might have to let Gasly through and then try and stay with him.
No energy.
I don't think I'm going to get back onto Ocon here. Not while he's hanging on to Stroll anyway.
No DRS available, no DRS available.
Copy.
Right, Ocon has been dropped.
And we need charge on.
Copy.
De Vries now 4 seconds off the back of Russell already, and Stroll has taken 2 seconds out of him. So Stroll's going to catch up and pass De Vries pretty quickly, but given that the Aston Martin is the second best car on the grid in Season 1, that isn't that surprising. We're going to get some DRS
Charge
off of
on.
Gasly here.
Copy. No chance.
The race is long, keep focus. Back off, back off, back off.
Okay.
And now we go recharge on.
Okay.
Yeah, Stroll is coming at us with a vengeance here. There he is.
Charge on.
Copy.
See if we can bring those tyre temps down just
And
a
small
touch.
lift off to the tyres.
Copy.
And Stroll was sprinting to catch up to De Vries. He's backed off again a bit now. It's only half a second quicker now, rather than like 2 seconds quicker. So that's good.
Anti-deploy when you can.
Copy.
I need these tyre temps on Tsunoda to come down quickly before I drop out of range here, but I don't think they're going to.
We push on tyres.
Copy.
Don't want Yuki to start slipping back. Which is what's happening at the moment. We'll have to use our battery here to catch back up to Gasly again.
Copy.
So this is going to drain what little we've got left, or what little we've been able to save. Missed the DRS, I think. Yeah, comfortably. About 2/10 shy. De Vries in peak confidence. Not surprising, considering he's up in 7th right now. Pumping out reasonably good lap times. We did get back into the DRS, which is good. Let's see if we can stay there now. And the tyre temps finally
We need
starting to come down.
recharge on, recharge on.
Copy.
Times as Sykes doing at the moment. He is lapping faster than some of the cars ahead, but he's lapping on a pretty comparable pace to what we're doing right now with Yuki. So he's going to hit the point where he's probably going to run out of pace. He's put on another set of softs. Great, run out of battery right at the end of the lap. Please stay in range. We might drop out. I think we just dropped out. It's going to be really close. Yeah, we did just drop out. But we are holding back Hulkenberg here. For now. Again, we didn't get back in the DRS, so Hulkenberg's probably going to get past us here. He's certainly going to have a try. He's got a bad exit from the corner, though. And that's not going to get him through, so just got to hope we can just hang on to Gasly. Vries has been caught by Stroll now, so he will probably get past on the run up to the line. I'm okay with that. That might be easier for us, actually. If we can just stay tucked up behind Stroll, that will hopefully pull us away from Ocon and Gasly. Keep De Vries in with a chance of actually getting that final point in 8th place.
You can push harder.
Copy.
I'm going to encourage the overtake.
Just focus on charging the pack.
Yeah, copy that.
Back off.
Copy that.
Lift and coast.
Copy that.
Because I want it done here so that we can get it coming out of turn 2 rather than him just sitting behind us and then getting past us in turn 2 into turn 3. Which I think is going to be what happens anyway. Damn it. Yeah, there he goes. Alright, okay. That's alright.
Need to focus on getting the pack up.
Copy.
Stay on the back of him.
No saving required.
Copy that.
Gasly's almost onto the back of his teammate. They are still just out of range, but if Ocon can hold up Gasly, that will give us the chance to get back into the 1 second window. Having to push the tyres just to get there. have been able to hold back Hulkenberg at the moment, but every time we make a defensive move like that to cover him off, we lose a little bit of time to Gasly, so it's not helping our situation. We've actually caught quite nicely, so we can drop the tyre temps down again.
Okay.
De Vries is just about going to hang on to Stroll. That's good.
We need to focus on the energy now.
Copy.
Recharge on.
Copy.
Slow down.
Copy.
Yeah, trying to take the heat out of those tyres. Even if it's only for a couple of corners.
Can push one step more.
Copy.
And De Vries is hanging on quite nicely here.
Focus on bringing the pack back up.
Yeah, copy that.
De Vries has been dropped. Damn it, didn't even see that.
Used energy.
Copy.
And Yuki's been dropped again. The straight line speed is hurting us. Or lack of it. The first time I've actually done a playthrough where I've got to Baku and I haven't done a new front wing, a new rear wing by this point. It's normally one of the very first things I get done, so that I've got a brand new rear wing with a big DRS boost and drag reduction for this circuit.
Bring the pack up.
Copy.
Overtake button.
Copy.
Charge on.
Copy.
So we need to back off.
Copy.
We need more lift off.
Yeah, copy.
Alright, the Alpines are getting together.
On tires, we are good to push one step more.
Okay.
So now we need them to just fight each other, slow each other down, so that Tsunoda can stay in them, stay in with them, and get that DRS or that ERS recharge. De Vries still hanging on nicely to the back of Stroll right now, which is excellent stuff.
Yep, copy.
And using Stroll's pace to gradually edge away from Ocon and Gasly. Gap's around 4 seconds now. Still got some tyre rubber to play with, but not a huge amount. And once again, Yuki has just lost a load of time in that middle sector.
We can push one more step on tyres.
I just don't think I can get Yuki back into the DRS and keep him there, unfortunately.
Use and deploy when you can.
Copy.
If I had a higher confidence level, it would be a bit easier.
Recharge on, recharge on.
Copy.
What's making it a little bit trickier now is that Gasly's getting quicker acceleration in these DRS zones because he's getting the DRS to Ocon.
Used energy.
Copy.
Ideally, what I need to try and do is interject myself in between these two Alpines. Stroll's on a push. I'm going to go with him.
Use energy now.
Copy that.
So let's lean on these tyres.
Yep, copy that.
We can push one step more.
Copy.
Just struggling at the moment to stay with the Alpines, but we have managed to drop Hulkenberg in the process, so it's not all bad, it's not all doom and gloom.
So we need one step more management.
Okay.
We do manage to keep getting back in briefly to that DRS, which helps. And then just trying to stay with them. Gasly's made the move on Ocon.
We can put a bit of energy on tyres.
Okay.
We need some pace.
Copy.
Still harbouring hopes if I can stay with Stroll, I might be able to jump him on the last lap or something. Our tyres are in really good shape actually, looking compared to everyone else's. We've been protecting them and they haven't, so I'm going to leave our tyres like this now for the remainder of the race. We might even push them up another step.
You've got energy when you feel it's on.
Copy.
Lift and coast 12.
Copy.
And anti-deploy when you can.
Yeah.
So let's push.
Copy.
Just trying to save little bits of battery wherever I can here.
Charge on it.
Copy.
And starting to struggle to stay with Stroll. Yeah, Stroll's gone. I don't know if we can get him now. As long as we can hold on to 8th place, though, I'll be over the moon with 8th place for Nick de Vries. I was harbouring slight hopes that Yuki might be the one who would be up there, but yeah, as long as one of my drivers is there, get an extra point.
3 to go.
Overtake button.
Copy.
Use everything.
Copy.
No saving required.
Copy.
Not worried about the fastest lap. There is no reward for fastest lap in the sprint. It doesn't count for the sponsor objective, and we don't get any sponsor cash for it. We don't get, a point for it either. So yeah, keeping my fingers crossed that our pace, even though it won't be quick enough for the fastest lap, will be enough to get us back into striking range in these last 2 laps. This is closing back in. We're almost out of battery. He's almost there.
No energy.
Yeah, copy that.
Need to focus.
Yuki's
on
very
back
much
up.
there.
Yeah, copy that.
No DRS available, no DRS available. Recharge on.
Yeah.
De Vries is so close.
You can lift off to avoid instability.
Yeah, copy.
Sonoda actually having a look at going around the outside of one of the Alpines here.
2 to go.
For a minute I thought we might get them both. In the end we got neither. Again, we're just dropping off the back of Stroll. It's that middle sector that really does us in. That's where the Aston Martin is just so much stronger than us. Can I get both of these Alpines here? see if I can get past
This will be our final
Stroll
run.
if we're really lucky. We're just going to miss the DRS. Worth a try.
We can just focus on charging the pack.
Yeah, copy that.
Do what you can to keep the tyres cool.
Yeah, copy that.
Oh, that was close, but we're squeezing through.
Overtake button.
Okay.
Come on, Yuki. Yes. Excellent stuff. There we go. We're up to 10th. Now, can we get 9th? No points for 9th, but it's up 2 places
Last one.
for the next race.
Good job.
Prix is going to have to settle for 8th place, but that's still a mighty job. I'm going to just ease those tyres down. He's not going to catch
Look
Stroll.
after the tyres.
Yeah,
Let's make sure he
fine.
doesn't bin it.
Leclerc is the winner in today's sprint.
You've taken the checkered flag. That's P8.
Ah, so close. Less than the 10th. But I'll take 10th. There we go into place with Yuki. If he can stay in 10th in the race, that'll be a point. An excellent point for Nick de Vries in the sprint. And if he can hold that place, then that's 4 points
Good effort. Good effort.
for the race. Not a bad start to Baku.
Nick de Vries amongst those ending this sprint with a points finish.
There will definitely be some lessons to learn for them, but this was solid work.
So confirmation of the sprint result there. It's Leclerc from Perez and Max, and then Alonso, Hamilton, Russell, Stroll, Nick de Vries up 3 places to finish in 8th, and Ocon in 9th. Yuki up 2 places, will start tomorrow's race in 10th. Excellent stuff. Gasly gained a couple of places. Hulkenberg drops a couple of places. Some forward momentum there for Alex Albon. One thing we are going to have to contend with is that Carlos Sainz is going to be cutting through the field. Obviously, he didn't really make a huge stride forward in the sprint because he was so far off, but he will be starting 19th in the race, and will be a very quick car that will start cutting his way through that traffic very quickly. So that might just rain on our parade a little bit in the main race, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we can actually do some good.
The teams are making their final preparations down in the pit lane ahead of today's race.
Baku has been the scene for some major on-track battles, like Vettel and Hamilton fighting for the lead back in 2017. Will we see more drama this year, I wonder? And the weather today is sunny. These are ideal conditions for the drivers to shine.
But for now, though, let's get ready for all the action of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Sorry about that, just stood up a bit too quickly there, just to stretch my legs for a second, and had a major case of the dizzies. Dear, hate when that happens. Right, so can we capitalise on a good sprint result to get us a little bit further up the grid for the main race? We're going to start with a slightly elevated position. Can we keep those elevated positions and actually bring home even more points this weekend? Let's have a look at strategy. So the one stop is definitely viable, and is probably the strategy we are going with. I'm going to start on the soft tyres, just to give us that extra grip at the start. And we're probably going to look to box around lap 23. Excuse me. And we'll do the same with Yuki. Again, we want to try and stay with the cars early on and then fight our way through a little bit later. We're going to go lap 24 with Tsunoda. Might possibly be bringing them in a little earlier than that anyway, but we'll see how we go. We are going to take no fuel out for this race, because I want to push with fuel quite hard. I don't want to put any extra in. I am wary of a safety car or a red flag, which will mean a lot of fuel gained. But fingers crossed we can burn off some extra fuel and then recover the rest without too much difficulty. So let's go like that off the line. Very aggressive with both drivers, and let's see if we can bring home some points. Let's go to the grid.
Final checks have been carried out on the grid, and it won't be long until we get underway. Nick de Vries certainly has the potential to show his worth here.
An encouraging grid position as they sit in P8. Lots to build on during the race if they manage it well.
And the time has come. Let's go racing. Here we go with the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Come on.
Yeah, copy that.
Alright. Held position so far. Looking to make a move on Stroll. Probably not going to be able to make that move stick, but Tsunoda's looking for a move on Ocon. Oh, and what a lunge on the brakes. Very brave there. And Tsunoda moved up past Ocon as well. Stroll immediately retakes that place. It's a strong start for both of our drivers. Try and
Focus on bringing the
see if we can
tyres
get away with taking a little bit of temperature out of the tyres. Not pushing them quite as hard.
Slow down.
Okay.
There's a risk that we're going to get dropped. Yeah, it's too big a risk. I don't want to take that risk. We've got to go another lap yet before the DRS kicks in. Let's try and make sure we can stay with them. We've broken free of Gasly at the start, although Ocon is coming with us. And I genuinely don't know whether or not I should switch position with our drivers. Because de Vries did outperform Yuki in that last race. There was a little bit of luck involved in that, but we should probably give Nick de Vries a fair crack of the whip, at least for a while anyway. You can always switch around a little bit later. about to run out of battery. So we're going to have to go through the fun of trying to get that charged up. We have tried leapfrogging our drivers to get them charged up. It's probably something we're going to try and do here tonight. You know, a bit more aggressively than we have done anywhere else so far this season, simply because of the nature of this circuit.
Recharge on. Recharge on.
Good.
A small lift off 12 the tires.
Copy.
DRS enabled.
Focus on bringing the pack back up. Bring the pack up.
Use anti-deploy as much as you can.
Right, let's take a look at tyres. So, who's on what? Hamilton, Russell and Perez in front of us on mediums. That'll slow down Stroll a bit. Might make it a little bit easier for us to actually hang with him. But at the same token, same time, it is going to hurt our overall pace because we're not going to be able to use the softs potentially to their best. I don't know if we've got the pace to stay with the Mercedes if they were on softs. Probably not actually, so it'll give us a strong first stint and then we might start struggling in the second stint of this race. I think we're about to get dropped. Let's get a little bit more battery in time into Sonoda and then we'll switch them over and see if we can maybe push forward with a DRS slingshot and try and get back into the DRS of the cars in front. We really want to ease off on the tyres soon, otherwise we are going to have to very drastically change our strategy here. It won't be for the better. Right, Stroll has passed both of the Mercedes already, so now we need there to be a bit of a break-up of those cars in front so that Stroll doesn't pull the Mercedes out of our range. Hamilton has already dropped slightly out of range of Russell. Russell's not too far from being dropped himself, so this might be good. Prix almost in range.
They'll come to us. And you are free to use the energy when you want.
Copy.
Oh, might have just snuck in. Please tell me I've snuck in. Yes, I did. Excellent. Right, let's
We
calm
need to
these
focus
tyres
on the
down
energy
now
Yeah, copy that.
before I shred them.
Back off, back off, back off.
Copy.
They're starting to slip again. So we're going to go for the DRS slingshot in the main straight.
Go with charge on, recharge on.
Copy.
Recharge on.
Copy.
Use energy.
There's always a risk doing it at that part of the straight, but I'll get the Breeze back into Sonoda before I can start pushing Sonoda. And I'm hopeful that Sonoda's going to be quicker in clean air than De Vries's. We have protected De Vries's confidence level by doing the team order switch there, which was important because that helps keep his pace up.
No energy.
Copy that. Copy.
We can just focus on charging the pack.
Copy that.
Lift off to avoid instability.
Yeah, copy.
Slow down, Yuki, just a little bit.
Copy.
Just enough.
Okay, we can push one more step on tires.
Top 10.
Recharge on, recharge on.
Copy.
Big lift now.
Copy.
So this will be a more telling lap as to what Yuki's pace is actually going to be like, and we'll look at the live timing. Well, we'll look at the timing page to see if we have made the right decision here.
Need to focus on getting the pack up.
Copy.
We'll be able to see what lap times the Breeze was doing in clean air, as opposed to what times Sonoda's going to be able to do.
Use deploy as much as you can.
Okay.
I just realised we can't because we're going to be using different tyre pace strategies and fuel pace strategies, so we can't do a straight check, but we can at least use that extra battery for Sonoda in these DRS zones to push the pace forward a little bit.
Recharge on, recharge on.
And all the while we can build up debris like this behind him. And then when Sonoda runs out of battery, we can switch him over and roll reverser. In terms of a result, I would be delighted with this result, 8th and 9th. If we can hold this, this is 5 points. No, this is 6 points that we are currently sitting on. So it'll be 7 points in total from the weekend if you factor in the sprint as well.
Pressing on the overtake.
Okay.
Big lift off.
Copy.
And it's pretty clear to see we do not have the pace to stay with the Mercedes drivers. They are just too quick. I mean, that's not all that surprising. Even if they are on a slower compound tyre, it's Mercedes. We ain't there yet. Not even close to that
No
yet.
saving required.
Yeah, copy that.
Charge on.
Copy.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Focus on bringing the pack back up.
Yeah, copy.
Come on, Nick, stay in range. There you go.
wasn't
There you
deploying
go.
again.
Yeah, okay.
Recharge on, recharge on.
Copy.
You guys still with me in chat? I've not seen any messages pop through for a while, and you know what YouTube's been like recently. Just want to make sure it's not broken. If you're just sitting and watching, that's cool. Just want to make sure that, you know, I'm not missing questions if there are any.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Just watching. Cool. Like I said, just wanted to make sure that the chat hadn't broken because, you know, it's been really erratic these last couple of weeks. just looking at the front, and it's Alonso who is in the lead right now by 3 seconds. Aston look like they might have brought some upgrades themselves here. And we are almost fully charged on Nick de Vries now, so we can look at swapping them back over again pretty soon, so that we can start rebuilding Sonoda and keep using the DRS on the ERS in the DRS zones on the lead car and the full harvest on the chasing car, and help maintain that gap to the Alpines while keeping our cars pretty well fully charged on battery, or at least one of them at the time. Working okay so far.
Use deploy.
Yeah, copy.
Oh, and Norris has suddenly come from nowhere. He's been on a push. He's attacking Ocon behind us.
Charged, good.
Yeah, copy.
And he's going to make the move here, by the look of it. Norris is definitely pushing forward, which means he's going to be on the back of us pretty quickly. If he is on a bit of a push right now. Let's look at tyre wear.
Recharge on, Yuki, recharge on.
Copy.
So we've definitely got good condition in our softs still. We could maybe stand to push them a little harder. Norris is already all over the back of de Vries, so I'm going to have to give de Vries a little bit more tyre here.
Push the tyres now.
Make sure that A, he stays in range of Yuki, and B, he doesn't get passed by Norris. Because he's going to be driving defensively, and you can see that is having a knock-on effect.
Charge on.
Copy.
Oh, and he's got through. Okay, well this actually works because we were just slightly out of range. Oh, we're back in range now, but if we had missed it with the DRS, we would certainly get it from Norris.
And energy is available.
Copy.
Recharge on, recharge on.
Copy.
Do we need to push harder on tyres? They are looking good now.
Copy.
Evening, Rossi.
stay close to the cars in front.
Right, can we break Ocon here? Maybe. Maybe. I think we just about managed it. Yeah, looks like we did. Sainz has yet to fight his way through. What kind is Sainz on? He's on mediums there, that makes sense. He'll be very quick in the second half of this race.
Back off now.
Yeah, from.
We can just focus on charging the pack.
Copy.
Overtake button.
Copy.
I know I said I'd be delighted with 8th and 9th. I'd still be happy with 9th and 10th. That'd still be both cars finishing in the points, which would be a feat in itself.
Energy is available.
Yeah, 8 from.
Push 2 steps harder.
Copy.
Charge on.
Copy.
Recharge.
Copy.
Need to focus on getting the pack up.
Yeah, 8 from.
Yeah, take it easy.
Copy that.
We need to protect the front tires.
Okay.
Patient game here. It's not really working out as nicely as I would like. Have to keep just pushing those tyres a little bit harder every time. Say with Norris, who has found some pace.
Push a bit more.
Copy.
Recharge on. Recharge on.
Copy.
Gets through, starting to drift backwards slightly. And Norris is gone. I don't think we can catch up with him for a while. But if we can keep Ocon out of DRS, we can at least try and get Tsunoda back in front of him. Trouble is that Alpine is faster than us in a straight line. Well, pretty much every car is faster than us in a straight line. The only one that isn't is the Alfa Romeo, I think. Norris has really pushed those tyres hard though. His tyres were better than ours not long ago. And we have been, you know, turning the temperature up on ours a little bit over the last couple of laps, so he must have been going absolutely full push on them.
recharge.
Copy.
I'm going to have a quick look and just see what would happen if we did try to switch to a 2-stop, you know, on paper. Whether or not we could make it work and be faster. Yes, we could. It's a risk because we'd be dropping it. Well, we're not in DRS at the moment, so let's go for it. Let's box De Vries.
Box. Let's go and get him. Focus on bringing the pack back up.
And we'll do the same with Yuki on the next lap. And let's see if maybe attacking from lower down, you know, the cars lower down the grid again, coming through, will actually work in our favour, because it'll get us some confidence from those overtakes, which will increase our pace. Might be the right way to go.
Lip it, mate.
Copy. Charge on. Charge on.
Of course, our pit crew has a wobble. And it's going to hurt. That's good. 2.5 seconds. I'm happy with that.
Caution one on exit. Bring the pack up.
A-firm.
Charge on.
Copy.
Okay, here we go then. Into the pits for Yuki.
Confirmed.
Let's have a clean stop here, please, boys. God damn it. We lost 4 seconds there. So that puts us out 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds behind Bottas. Let's get these tyres up to temp and keep pushing.
Recharge on. Recharge on.
Bottas has been pushing to get onto the back of De Vries here. Need to defend this.
Use energy.
Copy that.
enjoy. I've not received anything. I've not had an email of anything yet. Give me a second. Let me. If you've sent a donation, nothing has come through. But as I say, you don't have to drop a donation down. You know, I do this for fun, so don't feel like you're obligated to send any money my way. Is now kind of up and running again. Let's give him some full push on his battery.
Overtake button.
I can even burn a bit of fuel here as well.
No saving required.
Let's make sure that Debris definitely breaks away from Bottas and gets onto Sargent quickly. Need to start getting that pace up if we're going to make this two-stop work.
No more energy for now. We need to focus on the energy now.
Yeah, copy that.
So Sonoda is within 2 seconds of Bottas now. We should be on him hopefully this lap. Yeah, we're nearly 3 seconds faster than Bottas on that last lap. Sargent is being reeled in by Debris as well. We've broken Debris away from Bottas. And wow, we're on him already, look. That was quick. That was very quick. And we can actually push these medium tyres on this setting all the way through this stint by the look of it. We'll have to keep an eye on tyre wear because it does look as though it's been a little generous on the strategy graph. It might end up being a bit worse. We'll see how that goes.
Charge on.
Copy.
Those temps build, that wear rate could well increase faster than we're predicting.
Recharge on.
Copy.
Are you not sticking around, Rossi? Okay, well, if you're heading out, then thanks for stopping by. And I'll keep an eye on my emails, and I'll see you Monday then. If you're shooting off, enjoy your weekend. Alright. Let's start thinking about turning that fuel down again.
Save fuel.
Copy.
Yeah, De Vries's tyre wear rate looks like it might be just a little bit higher than the prediction there. Yuki's is about on track though. Have I ever sacked a driver on F1 2023? Well, I've replaced drivers, but not mid-season. Although I did do it on the last game. If you remember, I sacked Kevin Magnussen on a Haas playthrough after he hit Mick Schumacher. Was it Mick Schumacher? I forget who his teammate was now. I think it was Schumacher, but he hit him twice. No, it was Alonso, wasn't it? He hit Alonso and he hit him twice. So we sacked him after Canada and replaced him with Logan Sargent, who immediately won the very next race. Well, it's very generous of you there, Rossi. Nothing has, as I say, nothing has come through. I will keep an eye out though. It might just take a little while to process. But thank you very much. That is a very generous contribution there. Right, we've got Leclerc into the box, so this is him switching on to mediums. That's his one and only stop. So that's him going to the end. Norris is in now, and we are in a race with Norris. Now he's one stopping. He'll be going on to mediums now. Hopefully we can... oh, yes. It's a slow stop. It's a very slow stop. That was a disaster of a stop. Oh, that's glorious. That is absolutely glorious, because we just didn't have the pace to stay with him. But there we go. That's dropped him way off the back there. He's over 10 seconds behind Tsunoda now, and Tsunoda lost 4 seconds on his pit stop, so that's a massive time loss. Well, Logan Sargent in this game is, going in as a first team driver, but still with rookie stats, whereas Logan Sargent in F1 Manager 22, when I had him on my Haas team, he'd been in training for a season and a half, of constant development, and the stat placement for driver points was very different in the last game. You could manually assign every individual point exactly where you wanted it, whereas now you can just kind of tell them to work on a grouping. But it did mean that Logan's pace stats were very good when I put him in the car, and Yeah, that was a year and a half of building him up, which he didn't
Get the
have.
tyres down now.
Copy.
This time round. So his stats don't improve as quickly. Or at least not his key stats anyway. Times are we doing? In 148.6 and a 148.9. Sonoda is actually slower. Is that a confidence thing? Is it starting confidence? Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's a confidence thing. But Sonoda's slightly slower at the moment. And we are lapping faster than everybody except Alonso at the moment in front of us. So that's good. We're about a second and a lap faster than Magnussen, who De Vries is chasing. There he is. He'll be on him this lap. And a little bit faster than that over Gasly. So the undercuts has kind of worked. It's all dependent on how much time we can gain pushing these tyres as hard as we can and then getting onto the softs. Porsche in this game is phenomenal. You know, he's got better stats than Sargent and better stats than Piastri. You know, and Piastri is a two-time drive, you know, back-to-back drivers championship championship winner in F3 and F2, and you know, we know how good he is. It's just they based his stats off a crap car at the beginning of this season. So they made him rubbish, and they made Porsche better than him, despite Porsche still being in F2 and having not won the F2 championship. You can't really read too much into the stats because, unfortunately, they're not all that accurate. They're based on trying to balance out the performance of the car based on how the car was doing in the first race of the season and practice. So, yeah, it's not a great way to implement it. It'd be better if they had some kind of driver update system, but that would only really be able to apply for new saves. It wouldn't really work on existing saves, because how do you bump up stats when stats are already being bumped? You know, it's easy for PC players to correct it because they can just go into the database editor and fix it, but it's not something that we can do, unfortunately. A slow lap for Sonoda. Not quite sure why. Maybe he got held up with something. De Vries is continuing to push on. Oh wait, Magnussen's box. Maybe Sonoda got held up by Magnussen boxing. And you can see the reverse of what I was saying with Piastri in Stroll, because Stroll's stats are way too good for how good he really is, I think. Because he did really well in Bahrain. And his season has just kind of fallen apart over the course of the season. And he's kind of recessed back to his standard level, and he just had a one-off really good race. You know, he has those every now and again where he has glimpses of really strong pace and being a talent on the grid, but he's not consistent at all, and they've made him way too good. We are hunting down Gasly. There's 5 seconds between our two drivers. It doesn't look like that on track, but yeah, 5 seconds between the two of them. Gasly is just 2 seconds ahead, and we are hunting him down. Well, we were hunting him down pretty quick. It looks like he had a push lap last lap. But we are hunting him. Alright, we've got 3 drivers in front of us, all boxing at the same time here. Both of the Alpines. Gasly switches from mediums to softs. Ocon goes from softs to mediums. And Albon is on the softs and right out behind Sainz, who we are still ahead of. Has Sainz stopped yet? I don't know if he has or not. Yes, he has. Sainz has stopped already. And he's only 7 seconds behind us, so he will be ahead of us when we make our next stop. Oh, there's no denying that Stroll is definitely talented when he's driving, but he is not at the level that he is being presented at. And if he were any other driver on the grid, he would not be in Formula 1 anymore because he'd have been booted for a different driver. He's still on the grid because Daddy owns the team. I'm not sure what you mean, Rossi. Oh, we got a new nickname for Farah. He's called Fafa. But actually, it kind of works. Alright, a new fastest lap for Perez there, a 1:46.1. That's quick. And it's only fractionally quicker than Verstappen. He was just 9 thousandths slower on that lap. Yeah, don't ever apologise for calling him Fafa. that's comedy gold right there. Alright, while we're still pushing our tyres really hard, I'm going to actually just get that little bit of fuel saving done.
Split the coast.
So that we don't have to worry about that when we're back on the softs again. Is F1 23 worth a buy? I don't know. I haven't played it. Other people have played it and they said it's really good. I haven't, so honestly couldn't tell you. But by all accounts it is a lot better than the last one, which I did not like at all. I bought it on day one and really didn't get much out of it before I gave up on it. which is such a shame because I loved F121. I played and platinum that game. Absolutely adored it, but yeah, could not get on with 22. Our pace is now starting to drop, as you can see. We're down into the 149s with Nick de Vries. Now that we've gone into fuel saving mode. Or was that just a slow lap? No, that's about right. Sonoda is definitely lapping quicker now. You bet I'm platting Spider-Man 2. I will when I get a copy. I haven't picked up a copy of that yet. It's probably going to be my Christmas present to myself this year. I'm going to look to bring de Vries in a couple of laps early as well. Let's bring him in. That's the same lap as Sonoda. That might potentially cause an issue. Top 10 looks really hard from this spot. Well, let's take a look at tyres. Yeah, it's not looking great, but it's not horrendous. And then let's take a look at distance. So a pit stop here is about 18 seconds, I think. So we're going to come out. We're going to come out somewhere around 15th and 16th. We'll be on brand new tyres. Maybe we can do something with that. I don't know. We're still going to keep pushing for another couple of laps yet, and we've still got another 3 or 4 laps to go on these tyres before we box them. And we're still lapping, or at least, de Vries has dropped, but Sonoda's still lapping at a pretty comfortable pace here. Got the battery fully back. De Vries' pace has really dropped off. He's not liking being in fuel saving mode. Although his tyres are only a little bit worse. It can't be down to tyres. He's a second slower than Sonoda right now. What is going on with Nick de Vries? His confidence is still there. What's happened to his pace? It's just gone. New fastest lap, a 1:45.2. I am quietly confident that Sonoda might be able to get the fastest lap if I can get some DRS. Maybe the aggression's too high. Well, no, the aggression's only for overtaking. He was consistently lapping about the same pace as Sonoda until about 3-4 laps ago, and now it started to fall, and now he's a second a lap slower, and I don't know why. Maybe it was just because of his braking. His braking skill isn't as good, so maybe he was just braking way too early. See if his pace picks up on this next lap. No, there's not fuel saving, but at this rate, I'm going to be switching our drivers over again. So there's only 2% difference in tyre wear. They're both on the same battery charge, both on the same fuel setting. 145.0. They're both running brand new powertrain units. In fact, De Vries's powertrain is going to be slightly better than Yuki's because Yuki had to run his in practice 2 when De Vries ran older parts in practice 2. So it's not that. I think it's just his stats. For whatever reason, his stats do not like tyre saving or fuel saving. So let's see what he does across the line this lap. He better be back in the 148s. Otherwise, we've got a real problem with Nick De Vries. There we go, 148. Look at that. We take him out the fuel saving, and it only cost Tsunoda a few tenths, and it cost De Vries a second a lap. It's crazy. That's the difference in braking stats right there, because changing your fuel saving setting changes the braking distance. You know, you lift and coast, you brake more gently, but you brake earlier and just coast into the corner, and you know the braking and cornering skills really come into their own at that point. So obviously De Vries's pace stats seriously hampering his pace when he goes into fuel saving. He's not going to be in the car next season. You know, we will be getting rid of De Vries next season. I'm going to box him this lap.
Box.
Yeah, copy box.
So that he's not going to get in the way of Tsunoda.
We can just focus on charging the pack.
Copy that.
You can back off a bit.
Yeah, copy that.
Box, Yuki box.
Yeah, copy.
So we are going to have some work to do, but we are going to be pushing the tyres as soon as we get out the pits. And 2.4 laps, a good stop. I think that's our quickest stop of the season. That's the second fastest stop of the race, and we are right behind 2 cars, which means we can immediately get a confidence boost by overtaking them.
Focus on getting the pack up.
Copy.
Which means we might be able to get Nick De Vries into peak confidence very quickly here. The site's closing down Yuki. Got to get down to just 3.3 seconds now. He's dragging Ocon along with him.
Focus on bringing the pack back up.
Copy.
You've got energy.
Copy.
If you could push a bit harder and try and get up to him, let's see. Charge on.
Yeah, copy.
Alright, here we go then. A glory lap for Nick De Vries, and hopefully 2 very quick overtakes as well.
Agree.
Copy Yuki.
5.7. It's not quick, but at least it's not 6.5 seconds like it was on his last stop. Right, there we go, past Sargent's. You're not happy? Why are you not happy, Rossi?
Copy.
Pressure of overtake.
Okay.
Right, we keep on pushing here with the Prix. Let's drop the tyres down a touch, drop the fuel down to normal.
Back off.
Copy.
Let's take a look at Yuki. He's now coming up off the back of Sargent's. Prix is already on the back of Hulkenberg, and there is a move in the background. Can he get it under braking? Just about squeezes his way through there. You won't see moves there in real life like that. That's a nice little boost of confidence for Yuki now. De Vries is still trying to find a way past Hulkenberg. Should get him here. Up the inside. He'll be on the battery if he's got any left. He might not have any. He hasn't got any left.
Bring the pack up.
Copy.
But I will get DRS off Hulkenberg here, which will facilitate that overtake. There is Yuki in the background, sprinting onto the back of Magnussen. And De Vries gets the move and hits maximum confidence. Excellent stuff. So we can push him on now and just go after Norris, who's 6.5 seconds ahead of us. We've got 15 laps to go.
We need to focus on the energy now.
We need to find... about 12 seconds to get back into 10th place. Sonoda is now in peak confidence. How fast did he go on that last lap? 1:45.5. That's only half a second off the fastest lap, and that was trying to fight his way through traffic.
So we need to back off. Lift off, save fuel.
Someone reversed into your car. Ooh, that's not good, Steve. How many laps would you say is perfect for every practice session? I have a method that I go through when I do my practice sessions. So what I like to do, if I'm not running a reserve, if I'm just running the main drivers, then in the first session I like to run hard tyres and do 2 stints, so that I get 2 bites at the cherry of getting the car set in practice 1, while still gaining some track knowledge, etc, etc. And then I like to do a slightly longer single run in practice 2, and then a slightly shorter single run in practice 3, just to finish off the track knowledge gain. That's assuming that I can get the setup where I need it to be by session 3. So each circuit has a certain number of laps you can do within that first half an hour, and I like to try and go, say, 27-28 minutes of the session before the driver gets back into the pits, so that gives you time, because it will take about 4 or 5 minutes to make changes to the car, or for those changes to be applied to the car. That means that you can do a run, box, apply the changes, and get out and do an equal length just about run in the second half of the first practice session. So, for example, at this circuit, because it's quite a long lap at 1 minute 40, it's about 15 laps. At Melbourne, where it's a very fast lap, and it's 1:15 a lap, it's 20 laps-ish. You know, some circuits will be more than that. So Austria, it's an incredibly quick lap. It's about 23 laps, or 28 minutes of running in that first session. Bahrain is 17 laps, Jeddah is 18 laps, Monaco 21 laps, and so on and so forth. I make a note. But I know mainly from practice now, just from repetition, but I have a little note in my notebook with all my setups as to how much fuel burn it is per lap. So for this circuit, it's 2 kilos of fuel per lap, and I know that Baku, 15 laps will get me through a nice little split on my practice session. And then with practice session 2, what I tend to do is I tend to take that figure from first practice and then maybe add somewhere between 7 to 10 laps on top of it. So for example, at Baku, it would be, say, 15 laps. I might go 23 or 24 laps for practice 2, and then something similar for practice 3. For Melbourne, which is 20 laps, I tend to go 30 laps in practice 2, and then 25 to 30 laps, depending on how much I still need to run to get my track knowledge up in practice 3. Austria, because it's 23 laps, for the first session, I tend to run maybe 32 laps in practice 2, and then maybe 28 laps in practice 3. It's just finding the right balance. And also, if you're running a reserve driver, then obviously your replacement driver is not getting any track time in that first practice session. So you then basically have to run him for the entire session in practice 2, assuming that the car is set up properly, to get that track knowledge up to about 60%. And then you can afford to do a double run in the third session. Or you could do a double run in practice 2, based on what you would normally do practice 1. So here would be 15 laps, make the change, do another 15 laps to the flag. And then in practice 3, it would then be 32 laps of fuel. Because 15 laps is not quite half an hour's running, so you want to add a lap on to make it 16 and then double it to 32. That should be roughly about an hour's worth of fuel. Obviously that doesn't happen at this circuit because there is a sprint weekend, so things are a little different, but you get the basic gist of what I'm saying.
Use energy.
Now, if I'm running a reserve driver, I generally tend to run softs on the reserve so that I can save those mediums and hard tyres for the main driver when he gets back in the car, because he's got to do very long, uninterrupted stints to get that huge gain of track knowledge in a single session.
Use anti-deploy, use anti-deploy. No DRS available, no DRS available.
Right, lap time wise, we're doing low 147s to high 146s on average. We've been pushing the battery a little bit recently, so it's not amazingly easy to predict exactly what our current pace setting is.
We can just focus on.
But we are closing significantly on Norris and Gasly and Albon, to a lesser degree, Sainz and Ocon. How far behind are we? We're about 12 seconds off of Sainz. Now, if we're lapping a second and a half faster a lap, we got it. I mean, if you're here for tomorrow night's race, Steve, then you'll be able to see exactly what I do, because we'll have Miami tomorrow, and that will be a standard practice weekend. So you'll be able to see how I go about doing my practice runs through 1, 2 and 3. And I will be putting a reserve driver in, so you'll be able to see how I handle the difference between a regular driver and a reserve driver running as I'm doing it. How are we looking on tyre wear compared to the guys we're chasing down? Pretty good. We've got about 15 to 20% tyre wear bonus over the cars that we're chasing. This is Tsunoda actually already on the back of Norris. It's going to be a stressful last few laps, but that's Gasly just in front of Norris that you saw there. And Albon's only 5 seconds further right. Just saw Albon way off in the distance there. We are definitely closing down.
Charge on, charge on.
We'll stay in harvest mode because we've got the pace to stay with Norris now. So we may as well save our battery as much as we can until we get to the main straight. De Vries is in peak confidence, but he has just not got Tsunoda's pace. You know, for whatever reason, Tsunoda just wasn't clicking earlier in the race, but now he is, and he is really showing the difference in pace between him and Nick.
We need recharge on, recharge on.
You don't need to apologise, Rossi. Not done anything wrong. Right, let's get Yuki through. Not yet, okay. We'll go back in harvest mode again then, build that battery a bit more. Yeah, Norris was on a push lap last night, you can tell, because the difference between pace between him and Gasly. to start giving them just a little bit more tyre.
You can push.
You've got plenty of it to go.
Stay close to the cars in front.
And use anti-deploy.
Laps are starting to tick away now. Got to get a bit of a wriggle on. Just lacking in straight line speed. Going to have to burn the battery here. Hoping to do the pass without the battery, but I'm going to need it just to get that extra impetus out the corner. There we go. Albon's a decent driver, but the Williams in this version of the game is definitely a much stronger package than the Williams in last year's game.
Okay, good job.
Can we get Gasly here as well? Yes, we can. Excellent. That's two very quick overtakes in succession there. And now let's go straight after Albon.
Recharge on.
Look at the pace difference against Albon right now. 2.5 seconds. That's pretty impressive stuff. Ocon and Sainz are lapping slow as well. We're lapping faster than everybody with Tsunoda right now. Although we did do a little bit of battery overtaking. But nonetheless, we'll be past Albon end of this lap. And De Vries is now finally getting into striking distance of Norris. And there is a new fastest lap, a 1:45.0. It's just a little bit too quick for us. We can't get it, unfortunately, but what is our best lap? .145.5 is still our best lap.
Recharge on. Focus on bringing the pack back up.
Yeah, Ferrari are a little too easy in this game. Although,
6 laps to go.
are you racing with the new settings, the new difficulty settings, or are you still racing on standard? You're getting a pixelated spinny symbol. Yeah, it looks okay for me. Not seeing any drops on my end.
Yes.
Good job.
You've got energy.
Charge on, charge on.
Yeah, I'm still looking at my screen on my phone, and it's looking all right on my phone at the moment, Mr. Water. I tried closing and reopening YouTube. We are just 2 seconds out of away from 8th place here. That's as high as we're going to get. We're not going to suddenly find 39 seconds to get onto the back of Russell. But we were never going to get onto the back of Russell without staying, if we stayed on the 1 stop. Oh, wait, I just saw a little bit of pixelation. Just a little bit. But I haven't seen the spinny circle. I am disappointed with how lacking De Vries has been in this second stint here. This second soft tyre stint. I was hoping he would be a bit more effective than he has been. Because he looked great in the first half of the race, the first part of the race. There we are, on the back of 8th place there. If we can maybe get De Vries through, we're going to have 3 more laps after this one. 4 seconds, we might be able to close that gap if we're lucky. Tsunoda's having a blinder. He's doing well.
No saving required.
Oh, well, yeah, if you're downloading updates, that will definitely have been it.
So there is 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go.
Oh, wait, no, we've got 4 laps. Ah, excellent.
Lift now.
Just out of range of these two at the moment, because we ran out of battery.
Energy if you need it.
De Vries knows I'm not keeping him and thought to hell with it. No, I think he had that. I think he had that thought last night when he destroyed 2 cars. Actually, I don't even know if it was De Vries' fault. It might have been Tsunoda's fault. I don't know. We never really got a clear angle of the shot of the incident, and the replay showed us nothing at all. So I don't know who was at fault.
Big lift.
Both drivers have form for that kind of thing, so it could be either.
Overtake button.
To go.
Oh yeah, here we go, up the inside, beautiful, which means we now get a clean run on the back of the Ferrari. And he sits back into the slipstream, so we'll go back into battery charge again.
Recharge on. Recharge.
Prix is not going to catch Ocon, I don't think.
You can use energy.
So he's going to stay in 11th, which is a shame, but I don't think, given how his pace dropped off dramatically on those mediums, I don't think he would have been able to hold on to 9th place. Because Yuki would have caught him and passed him, and then, you know, I mean, look, he's maximised confidence here, and he's not got the pace he needs. It's a bit of a shame.
Bring the pack up.
I just don't know if he's going to have the pace. He might get Ocon. Hopefully we can get him into 10th.
Cool.
He's still got another couple of laps to go after this one. Maybe, just maybe, he can pull that off. But he's not going to get sights.
To go.
Sainz was fractionally ahead. That should give us the DRS. It does. So we'll now complete that move. Going into the braking zone. There we go. We're in 8th place, and that's how close we are to getting a lap. You know, Leclerc has just turned through turn 2 now, and we're in 8th place. .6 seconds to Ocon. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Don't know if I'm going to make it. Got better tyres. Got a driver at peak confidence. It's close. It's very close. He might do it actually. It's 1.8 seconds now. 1.7. This is where the points are. This is where the big points are. This is 4 points that we're sitting on here with Sonoda.
And this is last lap. Use deploy, use deploy.
Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner. Look at that.
A comfortable win for Charles Leclerc. Big upgrades for his Ferrari, at least.
There'll be celebrations tonight after a performance like that. They've done themselves and the team proud.
We need to focus on the energy now.
Got to get the move done here. I've got to get the move done into this area here through the castle. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
No energy.
Yes. Whew, that's 10th place now. We should be able to hold that. We are definitely going to hold on to 8th unless Yuki does something ridiculously stupid, for which I will go mental. And not in a good way. Come on, Nick.
No DRS available, no DRS available.
Oh, crap. Fuel, fuel, fuel.
Left to goes.
Fuel, fuel, fuel. No, 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 no.
Check the flag.
That was so close.
P8 for us.
Oh, 8th and 10th. Oh, what a
Really
fantastic
proud of you
result.
guys. Thank you very much.
It's
Good effort,
literally
good
that
effort.
fuel. I completely forgot to check his fuel level.
Let's check the flag.
Ooh,
P10.
that nearly went very, very wrong. But that is 5 points from the feature race, a point from the sprint, 6 more points for us tonight.
Well, that was pretty much a flawless drive by Nick de Vries.
That really was such a strong performance. And they come away from today with a top 10 finish. Amazing. Really, really good for the team.
We may see these kind of scenes a lot in Formula One, but it's easy to forget just what it means to the whole team. And the Monegasque driver certainly proved his worth with a terrific drive today.
And that's win number 1 of the season. And it's sure to provide them with a real confidence boost.
And before they get back to work, I think it's time to cool off here in Azerbaijan. And down there in the Alpha Tauri garage, Karun, what would they be making of that race, do you think?
No doubt they'll be pleased. Both drivers really delivered. And what's more, there were lots of positives to be taken away from the race.
Well, everybody, that's all from us here in Baku.
Coming up next, the teams will be taking a trip to the Sunshine State. The Hard Rock Stadium is laying down the track for a captivating race at the Miami Grand Prix.
So, what a fantastic result this weekend has been, especially after the absolute disaster of last night. 8th and 10th in the main race, combined with 8th place in the sprint for Nick de Vries. So he picks up 2 points this weekend. Tsunoda picks up 4 points. That is fantastic stuff. Both our drivers now have some points to their name. And that is going to put our team on 8 points now in the Constructors' Championship. Leclerc, you see there, confirmation of the final result with Leclerc winning. A 1:45.6 was his best lap. We actually had a faster lap than he did, just by a few hundredths of a second. Fernando Alonso in second place, Max in third, Perez in fourth with the fastest lap. And then it was Stroll in 5th, up 2 places. That Aston definitely was very punchy today. Then the two Mercedes of Hamilton and Russell. Tsunoda in 8th, Sainz in 9th, up 10 places after finishing very badly in the sprint. Recovered very well in the race. And De Vries rounding out the top 10. If we look at the bottom half of the order, you see Ocon down 2 places. Good race for Albon, up 3, and then everyone else really struggling a little bit. Zhou gained a place, Piastri way off the pace at the end. Yeah, let's see what that's done to the Drivers' Championship. Max remains top from Perez and extends his gap by a further point. When you take into account the points from the feature and the sprint. Alonso closes in on the pair of them ever so slightly. He's within 9 points now of Sergio Perez. Leclerc jumps his teammate and he gets a good haul of points. 33 points for him this weekend. Sainz just the 2 because he bottled it in the sprint quite badly. Good points for Stroll and Hamilton, both getting 12 apiece. They stay 2 points apart. Russell climbs above Gasly, and Tsunoda jumps up into 10th place with his 6 points in total now, ahead of Ocon and Magnussen. De Vries climbing 6 places above all the other drivers who hadn't scored. So the only ones yet to score now are Norris, Albon, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Sargent, Zhou and Piastri. we take a look at the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull with a big haul of points, 41 points for them, but big points for Aston and Ferrari as well, 35 points apiece. Very close between those two. Red Bull are already a huge margin ahead, but it's very close in the battle for second between Aston and Ferrari, just 3 points between them. Mercedes get some decent points this weekend. They're on 53 now. No points for Alpine at all this weekend, which is a bit of a surprise. Alpha Tauri, our team, whee, up to 6th now in the standings as we jump comfortably ahead of Haas. Williams do move up a spot with their 11th place finish, which is higher than McLaren or Alfa Romeo have managed to get. And still no points for them, or McLaren or Alfa Romeo. Let's take a look at the pit stops. Perez with the fastest stop, a 2.38. Nick De Vries, though, second with a 2.41. We do need to work on the consistency of our team a little bit. Unfortunately, there is no second driver on there for us in terms of Tsunoda. Just not quick enough. His best stop was a 2.7, 2.8. I think 2.7. So a little bit of consistency work needed there. McLaren get 3rd, Red Bull in 4th, Alpine 5th, Alfa Romeo 6th and 8th. That's some decent points for them this weekend. Ferrari in 7th, Aston in 9th and Williams in 10th. That means the standings look like this. Red Bull top, but only 5 points ahead of Ferrari. But they did score very big points today, which is what's put them top. We move up 2 places into 3rd on 46 points, 1 ahead of Williams. That is lovely. Can we hang on to 3rd place? Maybe. If we can keep developing the pit crew, maybe. That would be nice. And you see the breakdown of our stops. A 2.5 for De Vries' first stop, 2.4. Yuki's first stop, a 6.5 with a car release error, and then a 2.7 for his second stop. Let's take a look at the driver overtakes and defences over the entire sprint weekend. So 13 overtakes, 11 failed, 14 defences and 5 failed for De Vries. Let's take a look at Yuki. 12 successful overtakes, 14 failed, 6 successful defences and 4 failed. Not too bad at all. And in terms of our sponsors, we pay out a bonus to both of our drivers. They both finish in the top 10, and so they both get a top 10 bonus payout. 10 grand for Yuki, 20 for Nick De Vries, whose bonus is higher than Tsunoda's. That just seems a bit weird. Although we're not going to be paying that one as much as we're going to be paying that one, I think. So it's all going to work out in the end. Sponsors were happy. We hit our performance targets that were incentives, apart from the fastest lap. We were half a second off. Yeah, we weren't likely to get it at this circuit. Performance guarantees, we managed to get the finish position and the quali position done as well. We also added another onto our streak. And if I'd realised our performance was going to be that strong, I would have been a little more daring with our finish position guarantee, try and get a bit more money out of that. And also with our quali targets, because we ended it with both cars in Q2, so we could have got a bit more money there. But never mind, it's all good. And there is the spare chassis that was finished on the Saturday. Our tour centre is now fully upgraded, so we're going to get the maximum weekly passive income from that now, which is very nice because we do need that money. We desperately need that money. Right, what a great weekend! A huge relief to be that good after the utter disaster and disappointment of Melbourne. But just to pour a little bit of cold water on that, do not forget that our powertrain was brand new for that race. Our performance upgrades definitely gave us a little bit of an extra step forward, but not that big a step. And once the rest of the grid starts to switch over their powertrains, we'll see some difference. We will definitely see some difference. So yeah, let's not get overly carried away. This is not going to this is not going to be us, you know, now consistently challenging for points every race, because it just isn't. We might get maybe some points with Yuki in Miami, and if we get a lucky safety car, maybe with Nick De Vries as well. But come Imola, or maybe Monaco, the majority of the grid's going to be switching over their engines to new engines, and ours will already be a bit worn by that point, so we will immediately start dropping down the order again. We've got to try and maximise this next race or two, see if we can get points, as many points as we can, before the rest of the grid catches up. Let's see what failed the inspection. The rear wing failed, so we'll replace that. We do need to get a rear wing done, and a front wing actually. Need to get one of those started too. Let's replace that rear wing as well. I don't know if we've got any spares left now. Oh no, we do. We do still have a couple of spare front wings. Right. When is the next ATR period? Oh, it's here. Okay, right. Straight away then. We are going for a brand new intense front wing. We can't afford to do an intense rear wing. We can't afford to do an intense front wing as well, because combined it's going to be about 9 million plus for the pair. So we just don't have that amount of cash. But we do want to work on a new rear wing, and we want to take some drag out of the car now, and we definitely want to improve that DRS. We're going to nullify some of those improvements by just tweaking other areas a little bit. But there we go. That'll be +3 grid spots, or +3 positions in the rankings for speed, 8 for the DRS. We definitely want the DRS to improve, and we can take a little bit of life out of this as well. Just a little bit of weight. Not much. We're going to go to there. To a 3 to 5 instead of a 3 to 7, so it won't last quite as long, but we'll take an extra just under 2 kilos of weight out of the car. That will also help the acceleration a little bit, which is already good, but you know, it also helps boost our cornering performance ever so slightly as well. So let's get that started. We want to go intense to maximize the XP gain on that with our engineers, our expertise gain. It would be nice if we can get this for Montreal, because that is a quick circuit, and with that again a long double DRS, we definitely want to try and be able to take advantage of that. So let's see, we want to throw 3 engineers on that. I think that will give us plenty of time to get those rear wings built. And even though we can't go intense, because we can't afford to go intense, it's 4.8 million. It's going to put us, you know, it's 1.6 more than we can afford. We can afford to do a normal front wing, and again we are going to try and get that in place for Montreal. We're going to go 4 engineers on that one, and then the other 2 we are going to try and maybe attribute some research to them. So we desperately need to improve the downforce generation from the front wing. I'm not overly concerned about improving the brakes, because we did get a big brake upgrade with our suspension. I do want to improve the dirty air though, because that is bad. Let's see, we can balance that slightly. We'll go like that, I think, with those settings. Again, we can take a little bit of life out of the front wings, but not much. Let's go to there with the front wings. let's get that started. There we go. Right. More research. We have already done our second chassis. There are minor technical regs on the underfloors and suspensions, and they will be on the front and rear wings as well. But we'll make starts on an underfloor improvement in terms of research. So let's see, it's 10, 20, 30. So let's max that one out. Let's go there and let's go there. Let's take a little bit of drag off that, and just a touch on the airflow sensitivity. We want to really maximize the downforce gain on those. One engineer. It's 43 days. Let's go 2 engineers. In fact, we haven't got enough money to do another project yet. Let's go 3 engineers. There we go. We are going to start transitioning away from car development pretty soon. I will do another big batch of updates later in the season, but for now, once we've got these 2 wings built and on the car, that'll probably be it for, you know, a good few races before we start doing a bit more upgrading towards the end of the season, maybe. We are going to focus quite heavily on trying to get some research done for next season. One way that we can find out how we're doing on our research is something I picked up on. So we can go into the rules and regulations and we can have a look here and see, in theory, there's no changes to the chassis, but on the underfloor we can see how much our research is actually doing compared to the drops that we're going to receive. So this is going to be a way for us to kind of keep an eye on our progress throughout the season and see whether or not we are actually able to counteract the losses with our research. That's something I'm going to try and remember to keep my eye on this year, because I've not tried doing that before. I picked that one up on Reddit, so let's see if that works. So yeah, there's the email to say that the ATR starts. We've just done that. Car inspection results, we've already taken care of that. Tour centre, we know about that. It's another win for Théo Pourchaire. That is 4 wins from 4. Let's see, did he get the sprint win as well? No, he didn't. I mean, it's very rare that the driver who wins the sprint wins the main. But yeah, another race win for Théo Pourchaire. 4 wins from 4. We might have to think about signing Théo Pourchaire as our reserve driver. I kind of don't really want to do that because we have already played about with Pourchaire this year, and we played about with him with Williams last game. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but probably won't. Let's check in with the boards. The boards are still medium confidence, but they are delighted with Baku, as they damn well should be, because I'm delighted with Baku. So hopefully the board confidence will go up a little bit more. We are easily on target now for our 8th or above. We are currently in 6th place, and we've actually chipped off another race on the long-term objective. But if we can't get 10 more point finishes this season, that will reset for next season. So we'll see how that goes. Right, one last thing I think to look at, and that is our driver development. Let's see how they've improved over the month of April. Nick De Vries has improved his braking by a point, and Sonoda's improved his cornering by a point and his accuracy by a point. Let's take a look at Lawson. He's gained a point in cornering and 2 points in braking. Very nice. So we can even start thinking about switching up his driver focus in the second half of the season now, which is good. We do still have to do pit training schedule, but we're going to do that tomorrow night. So let's just see. Red Bull have upgraded their race sim, and Alfa Romeo are saying that we are doing pretty crap. And they're we go, an email about the chassis. So yeah, all that's left now is in the inbox is the pit crew training schedule, and as I say, we will do that tomorrow at the start of tomorrow's stream. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's stream. If you have, please drop a like, and if you're new and you want to keep up with the live stream series, just make sure you subscribe as well. There's no charge, no memberships, no paid ads, anything like that. Just come and enjoy the fun, and I will see you all with some more F1 Manager very soon.